Yes, thank you. First of all, thank you very much, Patricia, for including me, because I'm really the only person on this call who's not really in the industry. I don't have an ancillary business. What I do is I'm a journalist. So I started writing about cannabis. Well, first of all, I should say I didn't even start consuming cannabis until I was 49 years old. Um, so I grew up in the, came of age in the 70s and in the 80s, and was raised by parents who believed that, cannabis was a gateway drug, and they just forbade me from consuming it. And I believed what they told me. I believed the narrative. Fast forward, I had an accident. I fell in the bathtub, and I fractured my back. I was 18 years old, and I had doctors put me on Vicodin. I stayed on Vicodin for 32 years and believed that that was the way to deal with my back. And not, I mean, I didn't end up getting back surgery for a variety of reasons. So then fast forward again, and I'm living in Puerto Rico. I'm married at this point. I've done the corporate thing for 25 years. And my husband and I moved to a farm in Puerto Rico, and my doctor, who's a very like a real country doc, said to me, look, Puerto Rico is about to legalize cannabis for medicinal use. I want you to get your card because I want you off the Vicodin. It's not doing your liver any good. It's not really helping you. And I told her, what do you mean? It's a gateway drug. It's addictive. It's all these things. And she gave me literature. And I'm also at this point, I'm writing a lot about addiction for a client of mine. And I started doing research on my own and realizing at that point, NIH had started putting a lot of funding into research into cannabis for epilepsy, Parkinson's, and all these other conditions. And I was thinking to myself, wow, I mean, NIH is putting money into studies. This is great. So I allowed my doctor to kind of convinced me to get my card. I got my card and immediately started feeling better. I was using it initially for pain. And then I realized it cleared up my anxiety. It cleared up my asthma. It made my whole world just different. And I didn't have the side effects that I was having with Vicodin. I could get off bunches of meds. So I was a person who had been on meds previously. And so I feeling really, really, really good for the first time in decades, I started writing about it. I started writing about the medicinal benefits and using studies from NIH and talking with cannabis doctors and nurses and really understanding how it can benefit, how the cannabinoid system works with our own cannabinoid system. And it was truly fascinating. Really, really, really fascinating. Like I started understanding why everybody's talking about the benefits of cannabis. Soon I became what I like to call myself as the medical cannabis evangelist. I would literally talk to everybody I knew. Did you know that you can get rid of your migraines using cannabis? And did you know you can get off your arthritis medicine using cannabis? I mean, I literally was like carrying the message to everybody I knew. And so I got a base writing about plant medicine. I feel really confident about where I am with my knowledge of plant medicine. And somebody introduced me to the idea of writing about social equity. And that's really where I've been with cannabis ever since. I still know a lot about, I still write about the medicinal benefits, and I still write about pioneering people. I just finished ghostwriting a book about the youngest African-American male to own a dispensary in the US. I've just finished that book. We're in the editing process now. It's opened doors for new ghostwriting projects. I'm really, really thrilled with the way that my career is going as far as the cannabis industry is concerned. And I feel like just cannabis in general is just, I mean, it's healing, it's physically, it's emotionally healing. It's great. And I want to continue touting the benefits, but I also feel very called to talk about the social equity aspects of it, because I've realized through my association with cannabis, how I've always known how screwed over the Black and brown communities are with respect to cannabis. I've always known that because I knew plenty of people who growing up who were arrested and jailed because of it. But when I started to see what's unfolding before my eyes with as far as legalization and social equity and the lack thereof in most of the states, I feel still very compelled to continue writing about the social equity aspects of it, and having people understand how important it is to institute social equity policies into each state's just into each state's legalization of the plant. And that's pretty much where I am.